Okay, welcome back to members of 121 Community Church in Grapevine, Texas, and our ongoing study in existentialism in the novel by Reine entitled She Died, Then Showed Me. We're going to look at two chapters again. We're going to look at 21 and 22, and we've got a lot to cover, so let's go to block one and get started. From strong deer to sacred eagle. A mirror to Peyton. Bearclaw as spiritual mentor. Adler, Peyton, and the boys visit Bearclaw, and Bearclaw is immediately drawn to Mikey, who he says was expected to arrive because he received the sign of the golden eagle the day before. He said it was a totem of announcement. He expected a spiritual visitor, and Mikey is that spiritual visitor. The probing of the ancestors. Bearclaw says he has seen Mikey probing his ancestors, and he wants Mikey to participate in the Sweat Lodge ritual. Peyton initially negates that request, but Adler convincingly says Bearclaw gets Mikey, plus Adler promises to look out for him and make sure that there's no health risk or anything. Mikey as a mirror to Peyton. Mikey shows Peyton a charcoal in his sketchbook that he made of Peyton, where she is situated in a very dramatic landscape with the stuck woman standing on a hill watching her. Peyton sees this and she confesses to Mikey, "You are remarkable. You are very gifted. You are remarkable." The Mother Earth womb of healing. Mikey tells Peyton that the Sweat Lodge ritual is a symbol of the Mother Earth as a womb of healing. Peyton says, "Where did you get this maturity?" And Mikey simply answers, "I don't know. I don't know where I get it. I don't know where I get it." We know where he got it. He got it from spiritual nurturing from his grandmother every single day. She even gave the grandsons spiritual ancient Indian names. Now, during the Sweat Lodge ritual, Peyton and Ricky, they retreat outside the lodge, where she tells Ricky the story of the great Navajo weaver. And Ricky does participate in the ritual as the one who drums and does chanting. And he loves it. He takes to it naturally. He loves doing the chant and the drumming. Spiritual healing. Peyton tells Adler that her, Adler, and the boys all need the healing of family, recovery, and release. Bearclaw tells Peyton and Adler that he would like to mentor Mikey with his concerning his spiritual gifts, because he is the one who has the spirit of the sacred eagle. He's already been called strong deer, and now Bearclaw calls him sacred eagle. Peyton realizes that Mikey is gifted spiritually and has, even as a youngster, he has much to teach her. So very, very interesting that Bearclaw, this ancient relic of the Indian culture, he himself sees the spirit child in Mikey. He sees the strong deer, but he says, "I also see the sacred eagle." Let's go on to block 2, the ongoing sacred journey. Begins with a step of faith, a step of trust. Peyton confesses to Adler that she is ready to take a step of trust in their relationship, but she wonders if he is likewise ready to take that faithful step of trust. Adler says, yes, I am, but he also says the relationship probably needs more sacred hikes together. And they both agree on that. Now, this ongoing journey continues with the language of telling one story. Adler tells Mikey, Peyton is precise with her language, just as you are precise with your drawings. You both tell a spiritual story, and we know that Peyton does that through her painting, and we know that Mikey, Strong Deer, does it through his charcoal drawings, his pencil drawings. They both tell their spiritual story. They next transition to the home of Ambrosia, the old cook. They finally located her. The answer from mysterious places. Ambrosia was living in a rundown ruin of a house, and she's suffering basically from dementia, from a loss of memory, and she mistakes Peyton for Peyton's mother Harlow, because of course we know they look very much alike, and she mistakes Peyton for Peyton's mother Harlow, and then she makes a horrifying statement, and she says, and thinking that she's speaking to Harlow, she says, forgive me for leaving you in a pool of blood on the bathroom floor. So Peyton is led to actually realize that her mother's death was a suicide, but she learned it from this disclosure from Ambrosia, who mistakenly took her for Harlow, mistakenly took Peyton as Harlow. Let's go on to block 3. A changed life through revealed truth. I love the way that things wrap up here. I love the way Reine did this. Truth revealed. Peyton discovers through Ambrosia that her mother committed suicide, that her mother shot herself. Ambrosia confesses to she's the person who put Harlow's picture in that sanctuary day, Jamayo, in that prayer sanctuary. She's the one that put the picture there. Peyton exits the house and just breaks down in tears. She's just shattered from this disclosure that her mother committed suicide by shooting herself. So she just breaks down in tears. Truth worn next to the heart. Mikey greets Peyton with the words, your mother has been waiting for you. And the only thing I can take from this right now, anyway, as far as we've gone, is that by that he must mean that she's waiting for Peyton to finish her last start. It's a joint eschatological venture. Peyton is the eschatological person. She's writing her future as she lives it. By taking steps of trust and faith, by reaching out in new ventures like the art show, by taking the very dramatic step of giving love to 2 orphaned boys, giving them physical nourishing and spiritual nourishing. And she's on that journey of being the eschatological self. And so I think that applies there. When he says, your mother has been waiting for you, for what? To finish your last start. Mikey then proudly announces, I am Hanovi, son of the Utes. Now I love this. Ambrosia then presents Mikey with a silver Ute bracelet, silver and turquoise, which he can't wear it as a bracelet because he's just a little guy. So he actually wears it on his arm, on his bicep, and it ends up being located right next to his heart. I love that. And it's a bracelet that once belonged to a Ute medicine man, a healer. Mikey is a healer. His spiritual insights are healing spiritual insights. Truth as healing. Laylee has planned a birthday party for Mikey when they return to the ranch. Mikey asks Peyton, "Will you take me to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum again, please?" And Peyton answers, "I will take you to many museums, many art galleries. I plan on introducing you to many of them." Adler tells Peyton that he is still working on her father's clock, Sorensen's clock. And so symbolically, that tells us that Peyton, Adler, and the boys have all entered new Kairos time, the opportune time for new divine possibilities. They have all entered into a new Kairos time. Remember our lesson on Kairos versus Chronos time. Chronos is chronological finite time, but Kairos is vertical time of transcendence and the emergence of new divine possibilities for one's life. Kairos time has become a reality. Adler, Peyton, Adler, and the boys have all entered a new Kairos time of new divine possibilities for all of their lives, It's very, very powerful. 21 and 22. I'm very impressed with it. It's very, very powerful. And we'll just quickly kind of recap things here, but basically, I think if you go to 1:4, I think that's critical to recap, where Mikey tells Peyton that the Sweat Lodge ritual is symbolic, and it symbolizes the womb of healing, Mother Earth and the womb of healing. And so it's a ritual of spiritual healing. And we know that the boys need that, Peyton needs that, Adler needs that. And Peyton says, "Where do you get that maturity?" And Mikey just simply answers, I don't know. Just happens. But I love the fact that we have this visualization of a ritual of spiritual healing. And Bear Claw is very much into the ancient Ute Indian mysticism and rituals, and he recognizes that Mikey, or Strong Deer, is the visitor that he was expecting, because an eagle visited him the day before, and that appearance of the golden eagle was a totem of announcement saying that he should expect a spiritual visitor. And so Bear Claw tells Mikey, "I was expecting you, and now I see you, and you are not only strong deer, you are sacred eagle." So I love that spiritual bond, and I just love these images of the ancient Indian spiritual mysticism. I think they're very powerful, that these native Ute Indian culture, I love the whole ancient Indian culture. I love it. I think it's very powerful that there's this real bond with the realm of spirit, and that the boys' grandmother raised them that way. They were raised on that spiritual instruction every day from their grandmother. And then coupled with that, they were also being raised by a Catholic priest. So they had a very, very deliberate spiritual environment, both of them. And Mikey internalized all of that. And now we have him on this continuing sacred journey. And Mikey is gifted an artifact. It's a bracelet. But it's a bracelet that symbolizes the medicine man. It symbolizes spiritual healing. Again, the theme is in these 2 chapters is spiritual healing. We had the ritual of spiritual healing. Now we have the artifact of spiritual healing. We have the ritual in the lodge. We have the artifact in the silver bracelet. And all of it is what? Spiritual healing. And then we close out in block 3 with what? Spiritual healing comes through revealed truth. And we know that to be true. The word of truth is a word that heals. We know that as believers. We know that. We know that the revelatory word, God's revelatory word, heals our souls, heals our hearts. We know that. And I love in this novel that, it's a combination of ancient Indian mysticism and Catholic mysticism, but we have that here. We have this in the lodge ritual, in the ancient Indian artifact, and in the revealed truth. All of this has reinforced the theme in all 3 moments here as the 2 chapters on spiritual healing. Peyton, spiritual healing for Peyton. Spiritual healing for the 2 boys that have lost their grandmother. And spiritual healing for Adler as well. So it's very, very powerful. I'm very impressed. That's going to wrap up chapters 21 and 22. It's next time, 2 chapters again, 23 and 24, 264 to 288. That's going to wrap up 2 chapters on spiritual healing, chapters 21 and 22.